What's going on, family? Welcome to another episode of the C's Monroe Show. I am your host, and today we're here to talk about Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning.
Our lives are the sum of our choices. And we cannot escape the past. Ethan, this mission of yours is gonna cost you dearly.
The world is changing. Truth is vanishing. War is coming.
So all of you who have followed my page for a little while now know that Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1 was one of those 2023 films that I was very excited about. I was really looking forward to. Of course, Mission Impossible films are like these just action-packed espionage films. And I feel like that's just my genre of things that I love to watch all the time. Although most of my favorite movies are dramas, and I don't typically like dramas like that. That's weird, right? But obviously, I go to watch this film. It has a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I'm very let down about this film. Like, there was nothing really there to grasp any of the action or the espionage behind this film. It felt long in points for no reason at all. The fight scenes just didn't seem it wasn't like it was choreographed well. Now, I want to give my thoughts on that. Reason being is because this film was shot during the height of the pandemic. So with that being said, I know that they had limited amount of staff on set. They went above and beyond to keep everyone safe. So I kind of get where things were kind of like left out, especially with the choreographed fight scenes. And I can see that some of the acting in the film kind of suffered a little bit because you can tell that they weren't going back to reshoot certain scenes that need to be reshot. For instance, there's a scene where I believe they were in a I don't want to like mess this up, so I'm gonna look back at it, but the Asian character in the film, it was a woman, and she was just there standing there, and the next scene she's wearing makeup. And I thought that was the weirdest thing ever. Not the next scene, but just like moments later, and she was wearing makeup in the same scene. And I thought that was weird, but you know, a lot of people don't catch those things. That was one of the things that bothered me about these films. Reason being, this film cost over like $200 million to make. I believe it was like $290. Again, because of the pandemic and the safety precautions that they had to take, it cost a lot more than a normal Mission Impossible film. But that was one of the reasons why I was looking at this film and I was kind of upset that this was happening. Mission Impossible films normally have the spy espionage thing down packed, and those action scenes normally are phenomenal. So when it came to this, and especially I got the Rotten Tomatoes score, I actually had a chance to go watch this film. I had a chance to watch the film. A couple weeks before it came out, I wasn't able to do it because I was a little bit busy. I had a vacation to go to, so that's what I've been doing lately. So when I seen the Rotten Tomatoes score, I'm like, oh, this is everything I thought it was going to be. I'm gung-ho on this. We're going to be going. This is straight shot, 2 hours and 44 minutes of just non-stop action. John Wick 4.5, if you will. That was my thought process. But this film was just very slow. It lagged. It wasn't very interesting. Like, even the opening of the film was kind of lackluster. I feel like these films are starting to take a part of this world in which we feel that we need to deeply explain everything to you. And even with that, I felt like the film wasn't explained enough in that regard, but honestly, I didn't need the explanation. You know, we have something, spoiler alert, let me get to this point. We have something in the submarine that we need to get to, period. This is Dead Reckoning Part 1. Part 2 can explain what's in the submarine and why it's so important for us to get to it, right? They're trying to explain this, but it's taken so long to explain, or for them to even get the right things that they need to get to the submarine to get this certain thing out of the submarine. They're not really making this thing interesting, and I feel like that's where it suffered. 2 hours and 40 minutes. You have more than enough time to get all these details out there, as well as you can be on point with your action scene. And I feel like the behind the scenes stunt that Tom Cruise did with this film, I'm not going to say it was lackluster. I'm going to say that it built up a lot of momentum for the film. Really, it didn't do too much for me because I was there when he was filming Mission Impossible, I want to say Ghost Protocol, and he was on the side of an airplane, and I feel like that was the craziest stunt I'm going to see out of a film that was actually filmed in real time. Like that was wild. So anything after that, I feel like is going to be a letdown. So the bike jump scene that he did, that was on behind the scenes that everybody pretty much seen on YouTube, I feel like it didn't get the amount of love from me as it got from the rest of the world, I guess, because a lot of people are excited about that. I just didn't feel that it was interesting, but that's neither here nor there. I just feel that this film needed to be more action-packed. It needs to make up the reasoning for the runtime, right? You're not explaining too much of anything that's important to the film, really. And then you're not really showing the emotion of why certain things are happening in this film. You know, Ethan Hunt has these romances, and they're trying to show that in this film, and I just feel like it wasn't seen properly. So maybe that was a cinematography issue, but either way, I just feel like this film could have been 10 times better than what it was. I don't know where Rotten Tomatoes got these scores from, because I'm pretty sure, from a fan myself, I would say that this is a Mission Impossible that you can probably skip. And I thought I would never see another Mission Impossible as bad as Rogue Nation, but I feel like this is one of those films that definitely meets that expectation. Like, Rogue Nation was one of the Mission Impossible films that I told people, it's not really there for me, but it kind of made up for it in the film following Rogue Nation, and to kind of show why it was important, if you want to say that. And that goes to my other point, Dead Reckoning Part 1. You don't need Dead Reckoning Part 1. You've been doing sequels to Mission Impossible. This is Mission Impossible 7. Just call the next one Mission Impossible 8, whatever the hell you want to call it, and go from there. I don't feel that a Part 1 and Part 2 is needed in these cases. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, okay, we can do that. It worked, right? Stuff like that, and I feel like it wasn't needed there either, but it works because it left on a cliffhanger that you absolutely need to see this film and get the next one. I feel like that should be with every film. If there are a sequel, kind of need to follow along in this storyline of tale that's going on, right? Or if you have 6 films, you need to watch at least these 3 films to understand what's going on here, right? Just do that. That's all we need to do here. Because this film kind of was detached from everything, every other Mission Impossible. Besides, the characters, their story. You can go in and you can watch this film and you don't really need to watch another Mission Impossible film. But will you enjoy it as much? Absolutely not. You will probably feel even worse than I feel about it. So again, the 96%, I don't understand. They're saying that out of 100 people, 96 people will go see this film, will recommend this film, not go see it. They will recommend it. And honestly, I can't stand behind this film. Just wasn't there for me, man. And I love Tom Cruise. I love the Mission Impossible movies. I thought this was going to be the one, guys. It's just not. So let me know what you guys think. Have you guys seen Mission Impossible 7 Dead Reckoning Part 1? That was very long for no damn reason. Let me know in the comments. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thank you. We're at 250. We're halfway there, guys. Almost at that 500 subscriber mark. You guys are getting me noticed a lot. I appreciate the love. Again, I'm going to these early screenings of these films because of you guys. So I want to thank you again, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.